Doing today? We doing good?
Yeah?
Good to hear. Are we excited to see some dinosaurs?
Yes.
Even better. Well, hi there guys, my name is Anna. I'm going to take you back 65 million years into the past to when those dinosaurs were alive and thriving. Now, having said that, I do have to go over one safety rule, and that is to make sure we keep our heads, shoulders, knees, and toes in the tram at all times, so that way we don't lose any fingers or toes to those dinosaurs. Sound good?
Yeah.
Alright, well then coming up is our time portal, and here's the thing, it does run off of excitement, so I do need everybody to cheer in 3, 2, 1. Woo! And watch out, there's a Velociraptor to your right! Woo! Woo! But it looks like we made our way back in time to see our very first dinosaur here to my left. This is the Spinosaurus. Now, the Spinosaurus is a water dinosaur, which we can tell by that back fin. That back fin works a lot like a dorsal fin or the top fin of a dolphin or a shark, allowing him to swim super quickly through the water to catch his prey. And then we'll come on over here to see our next dinosaur. This to my left is the Quetzalcoatlus. Now, the Quetzalcoatlus is a relative to that pterodactyl you know and love, but he's got a 30-foot wingspan. Now, he uses that 30-foot wingspan not to fly, but to actually glide. And how she does that is she will take to the air using the heated air that rises from the Earth's surface during this time period before taking a trip of up to 25 miles. Now, over here to my right is Ben and Jerry, who were so excited to see you guys that Jerry's escaped. Oh no. Well, we'll have to deal with him later. Oh, and then over here to my left is one that I like to call the Naposaurus. On her 10th nap of the day, all I've ever seen her do is sleep. Just sleep. And then we'll come on over here to see our next dinosaur. This is the Suchomimus. Another water dinosaur. His name actually means crocodile mimic. So he is a lot like our modern day alligators and crocodiles.
That thing's an evolution.
And just like those guys, can hop in and out of the water whenever he chooses to. Which is pretty cool until you think about it for 2 seconds. And then seeing this guy hop out of the Trinity River is a big no thanks. Ooh, but then we'll come on over here to see my favorite set of triplets. First here to my right is Huey. Then right next to him is Dewey. And then, all the way over here to my left is Louie hiding behind his favorite tree. And then we'll come all the way down here to come see our Stegosaurus family. That is Stego Mom and her 2 babies. There's one right next to her and one on top of the ridge there. But they seem to be stalked by an Allosaurus. Now, the Allosaurus is a carnivore, meaning that he eats meat, which we can tell by his claws. Each claw is 7 to 8 inches in length, and then add that to his 70 razor-sharp teeth in his mouth, and he's a pretty scary predator. But I wouldn't worry too much about our Stegosaurus family down here, because they've got something called scutes along their back. Those scutes also make up a sea turtle shell, and so are great for protection. Mama also's got those fully grown spines at the end of her tail that she will use to whip into that Allosaurus. So by the time that they are done with that fight, that Allosaurus is gonna be Allosaur. Now, over here to my right, I got an angry-looking Dilophosaurus. We'll steer clear of him. And to my left is a Triceratops taking her morning nap.
Morning.
Now, coming up over here is a Parasaurolophus. And it looks like she's got some eggs over here, which is super cool to see. Oh, but she does have to be careful. Otherwise, that raptor might come to take them from her. Now, over here to my left, I've got a baby T-Rex and a baby Pteranodon with Mama Pteranodon up there in the tree to make sure that that play date goes well. Then over here to my right, I've got a Velociraptor who's not supposed to be over here. Oh, gosh. Oh, and it looks like we found another Velociraptor that's just learned to drive? Sure, let's go with that. He's just learned to drive. Oh, but I think I understand why they're over here. It seems like Blanche and the rest of the Golden Girls have taken complete control of my research station, which is a little bit of a shame because I was going to step out to show you guys some real cool stuff, but I guess instead I'll tell you about Velociraptors. So Velociraptors are actually a lot like modern day birds in the fact that they hatch from eggs, but they also have hollow bones. Now that doesn't mean hollow like a straw. That means hollow like a honeycomb, which is what allows them to be super fast as they are actually incredibly light.
Why you keep getting in the way?
Oh, but guys, over here is a roadblock of Brachiosaurus, so we are going to need to take this detour. Now, these guys are kiddos, and we know that due to their height. When fully grown, just their neck is about 40 feet long, so they will become the size of an 8-story building.
I just saw Patrick
Incredibly tall dinosaurs, but then we'll go from one of the taller to one of the smaller. Over here to my right is a Celiophysis, and he is a small predator, meaning that he likes to eat things such as small fish and on the occasion some toes. But his absolute favorite thing to do is to annoy our larger dinosaurs, such as this Plateosaurus here to my left. Now she is an omnivore, meaning that she eats both plants and meat, which we can tell by her teeth. Some of those teeth are rounded, some of them are serrated. It's almost like her dentist didn't quite know what to do with her. But then we'll go ahead and we'll take this turn over here to come see my very best friend. Guys, his name is Greg, so everybody come say hi to Greg. Greg over here is an Edmontonia, but a lot of people do get him confused with an Ankylosaurus. And that's understandable, as there really is only one difference between those two dinosaurs. Greg does not have the wrecking ball at the end of his tail that the Ankylosaurus has, so he is an Edmontonia. But both those guys have got osteoderms, so those small and big spikes that cover his entire back, which he uses to protect himself and also make him look a little bit like a pineapple. Well, then we'll come on over here to come see this funny looking feathery looking dinosaur, the Chitty Patty. Now, the Chitty Patty is actually a lot like our modern day hornbills that live out in Africa and that we have for you guys to see here at the zoo today. But she does seem to be bothered by these troodons on either side of me. Now, the troodons are night hunters, which we can tell by their eyes. Those eyes will allow for more moonlight and starlight to filter through, which means that they have their very own version of night vision. Then coming up over here, these small little green guys can hopefully help you save 15% or more on car insurance. But these guys are called copies and are relatively harmless. Unlike this next dinosaur, who is anything but, this is the Dilophosaurus. Now, the Dilophosaurus has got flares in the back of her neck that she will use whenever she feels threatened to make herself look twice as big. And rumor has it that these guys do like to spit at our guests. So before they spit at us, we're going to go ahead and take off. Come right around this corner through here to come to my very favorite section of the tour. Coming up is our family section, or as I like to call it, Baby Central. So over here to my left, we've got some more Quetzalcoatlus like the ones we saw earlier, but these guys have recently laid their eggs in this nest over here to my left, which is super cool to see, and I cannot wait for those guys to hatch.
Babies.
But then we'll come on over here to see the Diablo Ceratops. Now, the Diablo Ceratops will be born with that lower set of 2 horns before at about a year of age start growing in those other 2 horns, making them have 4 horns in total. And in turn, it is what makes them different from their more famous cousin here to my left, the Triceratops. Now, these guys will be born with that 1 nose horn before at about a year of age start growing in those other 2 horns, making them have 3 horns in total. And that is basically the only difference between those 2 dinosaurs.
T-Rex right here.
Oh, but guys, we do have to be super careful as we take this turn over here because we have spotted the T-Rex. Now, she is one of the biggest, meanest, and scariest dinosaurs of the dinosaur world, and she has become that through her amazing sense of smell. She can smell her prey for up to 5 miles at a time before biting down on them with her 12,000-pound bite force. So she is incredibly strong. But Mama over here is also a little bit too big to sit on her eggs. So what she will do instead is that when she lays her eggs, she will cover them with mud or with poop, kind of whatever's available for her to use. So that way her eggs are heated as well as protected, so that as many of them will pop out like little potatoes with teeth. Another animal that does this is actually flamingos and some species of penguins.
Penguin.
But then we'll come on over here to see this next dinosaur with the mullet. This is the Deinonychus. Now the Deinonychus is actually a lot like our modern day vultures, meaning that he is a scavenger, but he's also part of nature's cleanup crew, which means he does the very important job of eating everybody's leftovers, as that stops the spread of diseases and bacteria from entering our ecosystem. Now over here to my left is Miss Margot the Amargasaurus. She's typically very shy, so the fact that we get to see her at all is pretty cool. And it looks like her eggs have also recently started to hatch, which is even better, and I cannot wait for those